So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this starter house right here that you can see. This will enable you to sleep. It has a fireplace and there are some optional extras. In terms of the materials that you'll need for it, they are all in this chest right here. As you can see, it's not too bad. You need just 5 stones and 122 wood. This is all stuff that you should be able to get easily on your first day. Please note you will also need 2 tools, the hoe and the hammer, in order to complete this build. Now, just to say, the inspiration for this video actually came from a comment on a previous video of mine from Tracy Lynn. So Tracy, thank you very much for your comment, and as a result of that, I'm going to show you how to make the starter house, but I'm also going to go over some building tips and tricks as well that will enable you to make a bit of a better house if you want, and just show you a bit more about the game. So let's jump into how we build this. So the first thing to think about is the location for your base. Now, if you're just looking to make somewhere that you can sleep and you're not too worried about planning for the future, that's fine. But if you're looking to make a base somewhere where you think, in the future you want to actually build your base around it, there are a few things I'd recommend. First of all, this is a black forest right here around me, so I'm far enough away from it that the mobs and things that spawn in there are not going to come and get me too much, but it's also close enough because you're going to go and get a lot of your early game resources there, things like your pine wood, your copper, your tin, and your burial chambers where you'll be exploring for the certain cores. So I would say making it in some sort of proximity to a black forest is a good idea. However, I do recommend that you build your base in the meadows biome. This is one of the nicest biomes in terms of mobs that will spawn. You'll get a lot of deer and a lot of boar for food coming around here, and so that's going to be quite useful early game. A couple other things to think about. You see here I'm near a lot of wood, a nice forest over there, like a meadows sort of forest, where you can get a lot of wood safely without having to risk going into the Black Forest, because you'll need to do a lot of that before you're at the stage where you go into the Black Forest every time. And also, being near water is not a terrible idea. If you've been watching my live streams, you'll see that we're actually making a big moat around our base, which is something that A, is going to give you a lot of defense later on against the raids and things you'll face, and B, it's going to look pretty cool. So once you have your spot chosen, go ahead and grab your hammer, right click it, and the first thing you want to make is a workbench here that you'll see in the crafting section. So you want to go ahead and place that just down on the floor like this. Now, for the workbench to work, what you're actually going to need to do as well is build some walls around it. So you can build a wall here like this, one on the other side like this. So this is just like a mechanic of the game where you have to, there we go, sometimes this will be a bit finicky depending on where you put it. Yeah, you have to have this like all covered in and stuff before you can use it. So there we go, we're going to build it like that. The next thing we can do then is we're going to need to stick a bit of a roof on top. So I'm just going to use this roof right here. We'll place this like just on top here, I guess. We want to let's do it on this side first, I guess, so it's overhanging there. Snap it on there. Okay, there you go. So this doesn't look super pretty, but it doesn't need to. The point is that now when we come to our workbench and press E to use it, we can use it for different things like repairing our tools and stuff as we go. But also it'll mean that when we right click with our hammer, we'll have more recipes available, because for certain recipes you'll see like you need the wood to make it. You also need a workbench in proximity, and that's going to be the case for the house that we're building. Okay, so now go ahead and select your hoe, and when you right click you can do some different things, but what we want to do right now is level the ground. That is important for making our floor. Now this is a reasonably small house, so what we want to do is level ground 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and that's actually going to be enough for this little house that we're building today. With that ground leveled, go ahead and select your hammer and right click again, and we're going to go for this floor area here, this 2x2 flooring, and we're going to place down a floor like this. So we're going to have one here and snap one next to it there, then we're going to have one here, one next to it there, and I like to do a third one here and one next to it there. Now you see there we've got a bit of dirt, like this is sort of underneath the dirt. So what we can do is actually select our hoe, right click and make sure we're on level ground, and just hit that once again. So you got this like area here, this little 3x2 of the 2x2 wooden floor that'll look like this. So with your 2x3 in place like this, the next thing to do is go ahead and get these wooden walls, these sort of big ones, and I like to have these sort of beams on the inside. That seems to make the most sense to me, and you're just going to go ahead and place these all the way around. So you'll then have something that looks a little bit like this all the way around here, and then what we're going to do is make up a wooden door for the final section, and this will just enable us to open the door up to go in of an evening and close the door behind us. It just allows access to the building without there being any exposed areas. So at this stage you'll have something that looks a little bit like this. So then you'll have something that looks a little bit like this. So we want to now select the hammer again and go ahead and select these 45-degree beams. Now if you come to the side here, you'll see you can sort of snap them on. There we go. See that sort of freehand, and then it snaps on there. So you want to snap that on and place it there. Do the same on the other side. You can scroll it around using the mouse wheel. This little line on the floor instantly is the area of effect of our workbench. So you see the workbench is only there. It doesn't have a huge area of effect. So you do want to build it quite close to where you're building your house in order that you can have that area of effect to use it. Okay, so we place one either side just like that. Very good. And the next thing is to select this right here, this wood wall at 45 degrees, and we're going to snap this on here. So this is going to snap to there and there like that. Scroll it around the other way and snap it on here just like this. We can get that in place. There we go. So it snaps in place. And you'll have a little triangle that'll look just like this. We're then going to go around and do the exact same thing around the back of the house. So once again, select these 45-degree beams. We can snap that one onto there. Scroll it round, snap that one onto there. Go ahead and select the wooden walls. Snap one just here like this. And scroll round to snap the other one just down here. Sometimes the snapping can be a little bit tricky, but there we go. You should get it eventually. So at this stage, you'll have a little hut that looks a little something like this. Oh, and as you see, I've placed something wrong. If you place something wrong, simply select your hammer, middle mouse button to destroy it, and you will get the wood back from it as well. And then it will eventually disappear there. Now this time, let's see if we can do this a little bit better. And there we go, snapped in nicely. It's all flush and all straight. So selecting your hammer again, this time what we want is the 45-degree thatch roof, and this will snap into these walls. So we place one here, place one next to it there, and again there, and then up to the next level, and it sort of snaps in again, so there, and oh, we placed one wrong, so again, middle mouse button, we'll get that wood in a second. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Then we're going to come around the other side, make sure we're stood within the workbench's area of effect. Place one there, and do the same. So it's going to be basically 6 roof bits on each side. I think that was in the wrong place, actually. So sometimes the snapping, as I say, can be a bit finicky. There we go, that's... Oh, stood outside the area of effect. There we go. And then finally one there and one just there. Okay, great. So now you've got a house that is all covered in, right? You've got the thatch roof and even these bits up here and stuff. And we can open the door to go inside. We'll actually pick up that wood while we're there. And this looks like... Actually, maybe this one here has been placed wrong. So again, we can just make sure that's highlighted with a hammer and destroy it. Then go around here and double check what happened there. Okay, so from about here, we should better get this snapped in. There we go. And now if I run back inside, I think this should be all good. And there we go, it's all placed in the correct orientation. So with this in place, what you want to do now is go ahead and right-click your hammer, go to Furniture, and select the bed. So we're going to go inside here, and we just place our bed in this back far corner here very nicely. Now, placing the bed is great, and at the moment it's got almost all the requirements to sleep, but you will need to have a campfire as well. The campfire must be nearby in order for it to work. So for the campfire, what I recommend is you go to the back of the house, grab your hoe, and just level out a little bit of ground here like this. Very good. So with the ground leveled around the back, what you want to do now is grab your hammer and right click and select one of these thatch roof 45 degrees, and you'll see it snaps on up there. Now this will keep your fireplace, which is going underneath it, under cover, and that means the rain will not douse it out, which is quite useful because obviously if it's raining at night time, you still want to be able to sleep. Now that roof will actually be happily there on its own. It doesn't need any extra support than that, so you could just leave it like that if you wanted to. However, if you'd like to give it some supports, go ahead and grab some 2-meter poles. You'll see that this will snap on here like this. So there we go. Then grab a 1-meter pole and snap that just underneath like that. Do the same on the other side here like this, so we can snap this and just get into the right position here. It can sometimes be a bit fiddly. There we go. And a 1-meter pole again to snap underneath this thing, which is looking like it's going to be tricky, but we should just about be able to do it like there. I mean, you can spend a bit more time on yours if you want to get it straight and stuff, but this is just basically showing you the option to give it some supports like that if you think that looks better. Then you can go ahead and place your campfire down underneath here, just like this. There we go. And at this stage, what you've got is a campfire that's protected from the rain, and it's also close enough to your bed. So in a minute, and I'll show you this in a second, but when you go to sleep and you're inside here, you're able to sleep because the campfire is only just behind it. Now, if you want access to the campfire from the inside a bit, what you could look to do, if you take this wall out here, let's try and cover that, get the wood there. Okay, very good. Then what you could do is go ahead and build yourself up one of these little half walls, right? And you can place that either there like that, or up here like this. And what this will do, if we had it, say, there, for example, is if we put a cooking rack over this, we'll actually be able to get the cooking rack. However, I don't really think that's necessary, and it's a little bit less safe because things can see in and whatever. So I personally would still go for this option, but for this video, I just wanted to show you as many options as I could think of. Another option for supports, which I think looks kind of cool, is, again, grab the hammer. If we set these 45-degree wooden beams, what we can do, if we come around here like this, is just snap them onto the roof. So we could have one snapped on like that, go on the other side here, snap this one on just like, there we go, like that. There we go. And so then you've got these sort of wooden supports that come out holding up that roof. It's just another option, you know, another idea for you guys if you want. Again, none of the supports are needed. They're purely aesthetical. So see, now it's getting towards nighttime. Don't worry, this is fog. It's not my campfire, like, you know, setting fire to our base or anything. So now we can go inside. You don't have to shut the door, but I kind of like to. And then go ahead and press E to sleep. And as I said, the campfire, with the way we placed it, is in a close enough proximity to us that we are able to sleep through the night in our bed. And so that'll work, and that'll get you through the first night. Now, once you have slept in your bed like this through the first night, what will also happen is it sets a new spawn point for you. So if you die, you will then respawn back here at the house. Also, if you go to the map, you'll see here you got a little bed icon where you last slept. So you'll know where that is. If you sleep in a new bed instantly, it will move to the new bed location. So if you've got a base, you might also want to like use the icon here, left click the house, do a little thing here and just, you know, say base like that, press enter. And you can always like cross this out by left clicking, uncross it by left clicking again, or right click to delete. But then it will be there permanently unless you delete it. And so that, guys, is how you're going to make your little starter house there on day one that will enable you to sleep. So now I'd just like to talk about a couple of optional extras. So one of them being a chest, or maybe even a series of chests. Chests, obviously, if we place one down here, I'll show you guys, you know, you can open them up to store a lot of items, and they are going to be useful in game. Now with the chests, they do take up a bit of space, and one thing you might see is that if we grab another chest here, we can't place it on top of each other, which in early game, when you're looking for as much storage in a small space as possible, is a little annoying. But I have a workaround for you guys. You can go ahead and go to the building, get a little 1x1 floor, and place it directly above, just like that. Then go back to the chest, and you'll now be able to place the chest on here. Let's place this one the right way around because I had the other one backwards. We can place that there like that. And what you can also do is just delete this little bit of wall right here, and the chest will still stay there. So now we've got two chests on top of each other, both of them open, even though one of them's the wrong way, and we can get items in and out like that. So doing that will enable you to get a bit more storage into a tight space. Another option that you have is we can make up one of these things. With 4 deer hide, you can make a deer rug, and you'll simply place that down on the floor. What that will do is actually add to your comfort level in the house when you sleep there overnight and stuff. So it'll give you a bit of extra, you know, rested and a bit of extra comfort and that sort of thing. So again, that's a couple of optional extras there. They are not necessarily needed. So another thing I wanted to talk about in today's video, if you're looking to build something a bit fancier, or you know, just maybe on day 2 or something like that, is to build things on top of each other. Tracy and a few others have asked me this, so I'm going to answer that right now. But basically, if we place like a wooden wall like this, we can get one on top of it without too many problems. We can place it down. I say without too many problems, it is a bit fiddly, but like, there we go. But that's basically, you're not going to get any higher than that, right? So what you actually need to do at this stage is make ladders. Now I recommend with these ladders, you build them next to the wall here, like this. And we just come up like this. And what we should be able to do now is snap this one on here like this. There we go. Okay, and then we can go ahead and grab the wall again. We can come up the ladder here. It'll be a bit fiddly because it's right next to the wall. But at this stage, we can then build a wall like here like this. And we can even go up a little bit higher and get the next one done up there like that. Now, what you might find at this stage is that you're placing it in the wrong place. You want to try and get it to snap like that, right? Okay, so now at this stage, what you might want to do, and this is a bit fiddly, the game does have a bit of realism, right? So that's just how it is. So we're going to place this, like, I'm going to try and snap this on, like, not quite there, but like maybe if we snap that there and there. Oh, and there's a goblin. Let me just kill this guy real quick. Okay, so back to what we were doing. You can then come up like this, all right? So you're up your ladder, jump up on top of here, and at this stage you can start placing another ladder, and you're just gonna have to repeat the process. So yes, it is a little bit fiddly, unfortunately, and we actually snap the ladder from this way. Oh, we're out of wood, okay. But you guys get the point, and then you keep building up like that. So at the moment, that is how you can build these taller structures. As I say, it is a little bit fiddly and finicky. The game does look to add in a lot of realism, and so I guess that's why they've done it this way. In terms of taking it down, though, it can be a lot easier, because all you want to do is destroy this bottom one here, destroy some of this stuff, and eventually all of this will come tumbling down. So you just destroy the bottom ones. There we go. It all falls under its own weight, and you get all of your wood back. So something else to talk about as well is let's go ahead and place down a bit of wall here, just to show you guys a couple of things. So let's say we do go for like a 2-high little starter house here. You'll notice as well you can use hills a bit as well to get things placed higher up. And then we've got like another wall, let's just say over here. Again, like this isn't necessarily accurate, but you know, I'm just showing you guys the philosophy of how we do this. So then let's say at this point you want to put a roof on, but you don't want to do it like I've done over here, right? You don't want the roof to be starting on the floor and going up. You just want it like normal. Well, what you can do is go back into building here, and let's go for a bit of a flatter roof this time, just to show you guys a bit of a difference. And what we can do is kind of snap this like this. There we go. And then you can use either you can keep snapping it, but there'll be a gap, or you can use this one here, and it'll like fit with your walls, which I'll show you in a second. Then rotate it around as well, snap it on to there. There we go. And get your next one. Let's see, it's this one right here. Snap that onto there. Okay, very good. Now this isn't lined up, I'm just showing you very roughly. But then from here, what you can do is go ahead and grab the correct roof. So this is the 26 degree rather than the 45 degree. And that will snap on there like that, and on there. Oh, missing a bit of requirements here. Let me go get some more wood. Okay, back with some more wood now. So yeah, at this point, you can go ahead and snap this in place here, and scroll it around to rotate it, snap it there. snap it there. So then you can have a roof like this, right? And that's how you would do that. And now if we were to build, like, I'll show you what I meant about it connecting up. If we snap that to there, that to there, this isn't going to be perfect because I'm just doing it roughly. We actually snap it up here, it's going to be a bit easier. So we can snap this all in place like this. Now, if when you're doing your building, you do find you got a little bit of a gap like this, oh, it just means you placed something wrong. But what I was going to say as well is, so that actually does fit in nicely there. You can snap it like from different directions. But yeah, what you can sometimes do is get like this smaller wall like this to fill in gaps, and it will snap into place and fill in the gaps. So that's just an option for you. But that's how you're going to be placing like roofs like that on top of each other there that don't go right the way down to the ground. That's an option for perhaps a bit more of a fancier house. So guys, if you liked today's episode or you found it helpful, please do consider liking and subscribing for many more Valheim videos on tutorials, tips and tricks. And if you want to watch a bit of a Let's Play style thing, then do check out my Twitch. There'll be links to that down in the description, as well as a few other informational Valheim videos that I've made. But for now, guys, that's about it. So Tracy, I hope I answered all your questions. If you have any more though, guys, Tracy or anybody else, let me know down in the comments, and I'll help you out the best I can. All I want to say for now is thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So if you think I left out anything important for a start house, or you have some little tips of your own to offer other people, why not go down to the comment section and let everybody know. I'm sure they'll find it useful. And again, guys, thank you for watching.